Well, that experiment failed, so we're not doing it that way again. But welcome everyone to Talented Universe on this, we keep moving along, the 19th of September, 2025. This kind of is a special occasion for us this year. And I don't know if Liz or Marcia noticed it, but this is our 100th broadcast this year of Talented Universe.
All right.
So it's like, wow. And we only did like 56 last year. And we are still in September. So it's like, wow.
You're rolling.
Yeah, we are rolling this year. And then we start with The Voice in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So we're just going to be really busy. But before we go on, Marcia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's Friday, getting ready for the weekend, and fall is coming. So I love fall colors.
Yeah, fall colors good. Liz, how are you doing this glorious day?
I am super excited and happy. It is overcast and cloudy. Finally, we're only at 73 instead of yesterday. I think we were already at 88 yesterday. So,
well, you've got better weather than I do today. So, 90 something.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sent me your thunderstorms and cool weather. I like that.
Okay. Well, I try to accommodate sometimes, but you can't always be nice. Liz, do you want to go ahead and introduce our guest? If I can talk.
Yeah, I would love to. We have a really, really cool actor that is just kind of getting into the acting realm. He is still at New York University, and he's done stuff from Dhar Mann Studios. AJ Plumb. How are you today, AJ?
Well, first of all, thank you for calling me from Japan. I mean, it's a long ways away.
Oh I know.
Good
We
one.
recognize the backdrop. I have another program that we do all Japanese. It's animation, MA.
Yeah.
And all of the stuff. So I normally use that background for it, but it's a lighter background, and because of our overcastness, it's a little dark, even with all my lights on. So it helps.
Well, it looks great. I went to Japan last summer, and it's a beautiful country.
Oh, it is. It is.
But yeah, I'm doing well. I am a senior at New York University. As you were saying, I'm studying drama. And I mean, I've been doing acting all my life, really. But I'm also going for a minor in the business of media, entertainment, technology. So hoping to also produce, direct, write. I've been writing some scripts as well to hopefully give myself some Goodwill Hunting-like opportunities early in my career. But yeah, I had last summer. I'm from Southern California, so I'm from Orange County, about an hour south of LA. So I was home for the summer auditioning virtually for everything that I got. And whenever I booked something, whether that was a short film, a YouTube web series, or extra work, I would drive up for that day and that shoot, and then maybe stay in a hotel for a commercial too, if it was really far up there. I did one in Palmdale by Lancaster, and that was really fun. It was a drone commercial. But yeah, I mean, that was definitely gratifying seeing the industry for what it was on the West Coast, and then also coming back to the East Coast and seeing how it differs over here and how they're conjoining in some similar ways, as we were talking about before with verticals. And yeah, it's cool having both perspectives, and I definitely want to go to the West Coast after I graduate here. But New York, there's nothing like it, and it's
no, not at all.
Theater.
I'm a West Coast kid myself. I was born in San Francisco, live in Sacramento, but I have a lot of friends and family in the LA area.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's take you back all the way to when you first started acting. What got you into acting, and was it by any chance a certain little thing called the King of Hearts?
Yeah. Well, I love telling this story, but so I'm a twin brother, and he is a very gifted athlete. He has always been the one that scores the goals, and I've been the guy who kicks the ball to him to get the assists. And one time he made the basketball all-star team, and I didn't. So I was kind of searching for something that was my thing, like my thing and my thing alone. I mean, other twins know this. You're inherently always kind of comparing yourself. I mean, you love your brother or your sister, but there's always going to be that thing where you want to, pursue in terms of finding your individuality. So then in the 7th grade, I mean, this was after the 3rd grade when my acting debut was the King of Hearts, as you were saying, in Alice in Wonderland. And I got to work with an 8th grader who was the Queen of Hearts. And that was a thrill for me, of course, being my prepubescent self. But but then 7th grade, I auditioned for the school musical. And I got the lead role and my twin brother got the supporting role. So
there you go.
For the first time in my life, I found something that was my thing. And then it kind of inspired, I guess, a sense of grit and putting that much work into rehearsals and prep work and choreography, and then seeing it come alive on stage on opening night. I mean, there was nothing like it. It kind of felt like a drug that I was always wanting to come back to. And I did the rest of the shows at my middle school and then into high school too. I had a huge soccer injury. So I was on the JV team my freshman year, but then I tore my ACL. But 5 days before I tore my ACL, I got one of the leads in my school musical in high school and then beat out a senior for this musical called The Drowsy Chaperone. It was like a comedic role called Aldalfo, who is the king of romance. And he has a really fun bass baritone song. And I could just I could flirt with all my comedic inhibitions and just go for it and really embrace it. But then after I got that role, it was a dream come true. I tore my ACL. And my physical therapist was like, there's no way you can possibly do this show. I mean, there's a 95% chance you can't. You have to get enough range of motion back in your knee. So I took those odds and I went to physical therapy 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I got enough range of motion to do the show on a torn ACL. And I gave my character a little cane as well. So I think that was also another big moment in my acting career, knowing that even if the odds were against me, I could still overcome that. And really, when you love something that much, you're going to do anything to make it happen and to go the extra mile. So after that, I quit sports after that because I couldn't really play after my huge injury, and got surgery the week after the show. But yeah, it just after that, I knew it's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. You had mentioned your twin brother. I was going to actually ask you, are they fraternal or are you guys identical?
So he is my fraternal twin. I'm a minute older. We were a C-section in July. So we're both Leo Cancer cusps, if our listeners are into zodiac signs. So yeah, we're very close still. He's at UC Berkeley. He is a track athlete. He actually won the California State Championship in high school in the long jump. So he could jump 25 feet. And then I am performing on stage. So we're exercising our strengths in different ways. But he's my best friend in the world, and he's going to be the best man at my wedding one day, of course. And he's very supportive of everything that I'm doing over here, and very impressed too, which is nice because I'm in awe of what he's doing over there. So we're both just our biggest fans in every regard.
I think that's amazing that you guys have that special connection. Going on to something that you had mentioned off camera, and I had already wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
You had moved on to different things, including you got to go to Italy. I believe it was Florence that you got to go to with the Commedia dell'Arte. How did that come about?
Well, it's a crazy opportunity I had. I mean, the head of this program is Jim Calder, who is the head of movement at NYU grad acting. And if you've seen The Office, or listeners have seen The Office, in Rainn Wilson's book, he attributes all of his achievements as Dwight Schrute to this teacher, Jim Calder. So that teacher who inspired Dwight Schrute then led the program in Florence, Italy that I had for 6 weeks. And Commedia dell'Arte, it's really about the archetypes of Italian comedy, which kind of influenced all of our comedy roles today with Capitano, Magnifico, Brighella. It's all these just super outlandish, crazy characters. So the whole program was kind of designed to make you comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I auditioned through NYU. It was a comedic monologue, classical, and then a contemporary monologue, dramatic. So just showing your chops in every regard. And I auditioned my sophomore year. So after I got in, that was after. How NYU works is there's a studio system. So you can be in Adler, Strasberg, all these different theorists. So I've been doing a lot of training in Adler, which is very intense. It's about expanding your imagination. So then it was very refreshing to go to this program and kind of let loose and just let my impulses shine through and not really think about the technique of it all. But it was a great opportunity, and I got to travel a lot there. We got to perform in front of a bunch of Florentine officials who had a lot to say about our show. It was a Moliere inspired piece, and then people in the government came to watch our show on campus at NYU. This beautiful castle sort of experience over there, and it was a phenomenal time. I would recommend anybody to go to Europe and study acting, because all the teachers there are just they have no kind of, I guess, mindset about what acting should be. You do whatever you want to do, and that is the right thing. And it's also more of a low key sort of like low stress experience over there.
And also incredibly good food if you had a chance to get a break and try some of the culture there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I went all over Italy, so I got to.
Wow.
Yeah, with friends traveling too. So again, wonderful experience.
Definitely. Marcia, I'm going to give it to you for a couple minutes.
Sure. Hi, AJ.
Hi, Marcia.
It's very cool to get to know you, because I was born and raised in New York City. I was born in Harlem, raised in Queens and Long Island, and I loved the theater. In New York City, I was raised in a project, so we didn't have any money. But the thing about New York City's school system is that they would give out free tickets to shows. They give you the reduced tickets to shows, so you could see a lot of theater. Yeah. And I did. I took advantage of that. And so, and as I grew, I also did a little studying at the Tisch School of the Arts and the New School for Social Research, that whole scene in the Village, which is pretty exciting. So where are you in New York right now? Are you in Manhattan?
Well, yeah, I'm in Manhattan. I've been in Manhattan all 4 years, but I lived in a dorm my freshman year. It was called Lipton Hall by Washington Square Park, which is our campus, really. Yeah. And then I've been off campus in apartments ever since. So I've lived in Soho, East Village, and now I'm in Soho again.
So have you ever been to Queens?
Of course I have. I love Queens. I've been to Astoria to see plays. And I've also been to a Mets game. I'm a big Dodger fan. So I went to
Good boy.
I went to the NLCS. They were playing the Mets last year. And then I also I flew back for the World Series to California to watch the Yankees. And then my dad flew back with me to watch it in New York with the Yankees. So it was a dream postseason for me, because I got to see them play the Mets and the Yankees. But to answer your question, I have been to Queens, and Queens is awesome. Probably my second favorite borough.
You've got a Mets fan right there you're talking to.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, maybe this year you can get your revenge.
Yeah, well,
no. Right, we're in for a second.
But I have a meme I have to send you about what I did last year when about the Dodgers, which I think Ohtani is just unreal. But I've been a long time Mets fan, and so it's interesting being a Dodgers fan in New York City.
Yeah, there's not too many of us, but you find your group, and once you find that group, then it's a good time for sure. I mean, it wasn't very fun my freshman and sophomore year, because that was 2 years where we were booted in the NLDS. But last year it was certainly a experience.
Awesome, I'm sure. Yeah, and to be able to go to a game is there's nothing like being in the stadium and seeing a team play, and then if it's your team, that's even better.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a script right now that's related to baseball, and inspired kind of. Haven't reached out for rights yet. I don't know if I need to, but it's inspired by the Savannah Bananas, if you've heard of that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're going crazy.
Yeah, so it's an actor who is down on his luck, and then he chooses to quit acting, and then he pursues baseball, and he enters the minor leagues, and then kind of like reinvigorates the culture of that baseball team with some numbers like that for a fan experience. So I thought, I mean, I love baseball and I love acting. So I think for my first like professional script I want to send around, I wanted to combine those two loves.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could talk forever about baseball, but especially this time of year.
Yeah, I know.
But getting back to your experience on stage, which I love. What are some of the plays that you have been able to go and see?
Okay, going and seeing and performing, and I mean I love both, but seeing, I love the Book of Mormon, of course. I mean that's always gonna have a special place in my heart. I love anything Arthur Miller. All My Sons is my favorite play, and that's going to be on the West End right now with Bryan Cranston playing the lead role. But that was my go-to audition monologue for NYU. It's a monologue.
I saw that. Yes.
So I usually use that one. But I also love playwright named Stephen Adler Studio. He's a more of a contemporary comedic sort of thing, and I love reading all those. But yeah, it's just seeing plays in New York, there's nothing like it, and I do love seeing whatever I can, because with NYU you usually get a discount. So whatever's up for the Tony season, I try to see whatever I can. So I mean, next on the list now is Art on Broadway with James Corden, Neil Patrick Harris, and Bobby Cannavale.
Yes.
Definitely check that out. So yeah, just whenever I'm watching theater, I'm trying to now subconsciously take choices from these professional actors and bring it into my own acting, and seeing Shakespeare especially too, because I've done a lot of Shakespeare at NYU. So seeing Denzel and Jake Gyllenhaal do Othello last year,
my goodness.
I saw that the second show they had in previews. So I saw it before they changed everything. But yeah, they had such a different approach to it, and it's cool how language from 500 years ago can have a different resonance and a different point of view from all these different actors, and you always bring your own to it. So yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, and your work on the stage in the New York area, what are some of the highlights of your?
Sorry, one sec, my roommate's knocking.
Oh.
Hey, man. Sorry. Can you repeat the question? My bad. Sorry, listeners who are here.
Yeah, sure. I was wondering about what are some of the highlights of your stage work in New York, either in school or on.
Yeah, well, last spring, this was a torturing part, but I just played the Scottish King. I played Macbeth with NYU Shakespeare in the Square. And I mean, that was an unreal experience. It was a really cool story. I mean, so I'll tell, this is a fun story for the listeners, but Alec Baldwin, he was walking in the park just with his kids, just exploring on a Sunday morning, and we had rehearsal on the stage in Washington Square Park. And he was just walking, and I saw him, and I was like, "Hey, Alec Baldwin, come watch." And then he just walked in front of the stage, and the main monologue from that show is this a dagger which I see before me. That's the main monologue from it.
Yes.
I did it for him, so he watched it and then gave me notes for 5-10 minutes.
Wow.
And it was incredible. He had phenomenal notes, and he played that role in college the same time as me. So that was definitely a wonderful experience too, just to hear that from him, and he definitely wanted me to give it a beginning, middle, and end, more or less more. So I just wanted to have more moments after that, and I think I utilized his notes. But I hate sharing this, but the show is cursed, as you know. And after our conversation, his kid fell in the park and broke his collarbone like 5 minutes after, and it was nationwide news. So that's you definitely don't want to mess around with Macbeth. That's a fact in the theater. But I fully committed to the show. It was a lot of text to memorize, and I had 2.5 months. So I quit drinking. I quit everything in that regard. I just wanted to be fully like in the moment and present for it. And my family flew out for it. Some teachers that I previously had watched it and really enjoyed it. So I felt very proud of myself after that experience. And that's probably my
amazing
event. But also been in some other Shakespeare shows. I've been in some original projects at Playwrights Horizons Theater, if you've heard of that before. They've had some initiating plays that have gone to Broadway, and did one called The Newlywed Game, which is hopefully making it in some stage festivals right now, but hope to reprise that role. I played this guy named Richard, who was this funny, sort of naive husband-like figure who had a crazy past that I won't expand on now. But I played some amazing roles in high school as well. Played Nick Bottom in Something Rotten, which was a musical that was on Broadway. And that was a dream role for me after I got into NYU, just to fully commit myself to that before entering acting full time. But yeah, you always get something new from each role you play.
Yeah.
And with film, it's so different. It's all really subtle, and it's all more nuanced, and you're looking for things that are happening in the moment, because I mean, theater is more of a oral medium where you're listening to what's heard, but then film is what you're seeing in front of you. So it's all what kind of minuscule manipulations you could have of your face, and that all comes from taking it in, living in the moment, and being truthful.
And I also read, is it true that you collect playbills?
I do, yeah. I mean, I could show them.
Oh, would you?
Marcia, I am going to strangle you.
Well, the thing is,
I've got, here we go. Here's Othello. I took 2 because I wanted to. And here's Uncle Vanya with Steve Carell. And on this, while I'm showing you more, I just did an extra work thing with Steve Carell's new show that's going to be on HBO Max this year. And I was okay. I peed next to him in the bathroom. That was crazy. And then I didn't want to make conversation because it felt awkward. But then after it was on a hockey rink, and I was like, hey, I saw you in Uncle Vanya opening night with a lot of stars there, and you killed a phenomenal job. And then he talked about it for a while. So great guy. Maybe Happy Ending, a musical that just won on Broadway. But yeah, I won't show you all of them because that would take a long time. Billy Crystal, my freshman year. But yeah, so I do indeed. That's not a lie. I don't ever lie. I only find the truth, as all great actors do. So
so are these all playbills or shows that you've seen?
Yeah, well, if you get a playbill,
because I do the same thing. I did the same thing when I was in New York. I wish I had thought to actually bring a couple to look at. One I keep really close, and I'm a little bit older than you, just a little. I saw Dracula with Frank Langella.
Oh my gosh.
And that was, oh my gosh, it was such an experience. Women would come to the theater dressed in black, and we carry red roses and throw them up on the stage after. It was just, he was incredible.
I'm sure.
And, I have Richard Chamberlain doing Circle in the Square, and just Yul Brynner for The King and I, just, and I love that you do that you keep them, because you can, open them and remember.
Yeah, little mementos here and there. And also, if I'm moving to LA, I'm not going to have this for the foreseeable future. So I just want to remember. And I guess it's the nostalgia thing too. You want to remember the times you had in college before you're gone, and I'm not going to be. So yeah, I'm happy you do that. I'm happy I have another friend here that has a similar habit and obsession.
And also, see, now you're bringing back memories. Timbuktu with Melba Moore, that was staged by Jeffrey Holder, and that musical was incredible. Being beautiful colors.
Okay, never heard of Timbuktu, so I'll look into it.
Yeah, and they never made a cast album, which is really unfortunate. Because the music was so incredible, and Eartha Kitt starred in it as but so many memories. And you say you're leaving New York. Are you leaving? Do you plan to leave directly after you finish, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here this summer, so I'm gonna be in New York this summer, just taking it in, and I'm gonna do one last Meisner intensive. I don't know if you're familiar with Sanford Meisner. I just haven't studied his craft yet, and I want to get that before I go back home, because I mean, Meisner is really cool. It's about repetition and repeating something so many times, about putting your attention on the other person. I definitely want to do that before I go back. And then California, I'll have my family right there while I'm first starting out. And I'm a certified bartender in California too, so I could work there while I'm funding my life. I mean, I'm going to work during the nights and then audition during the day. That's my plan right now. So
You got your plan. You got
Got
your
my
plan.
plan. Perfect. Yeah.
Michael, did you want to?
Let's go back to Liz. I think she's number one. I know she's mad because I think you stole some of her questions.
Oh,
I'm a
yes. She
playbill
saved at
collector. I
least
had
2 of
to.
them.
Yeah, but go ahead, Liz.
One of the things I'm surprised Marcia didn't ask, considering you're from New York and you have a tendency to be able to do different dialects. Do you have the New
Yeah.
York dialect locked in yet?
I mean, the New York one, if I was to do it for a role, I did it for Danny in the Deep Blue Sea, and it was more intact then. I don't know if I want to do it right now, but
No problem.
I can do an Irish accent. I could do a British accent just whenever I get a role. I mean, usually I'm pretty good at celebrity impressions and just like mimicking voices.
Yeah.
So if I hear an accent and just watch a show just over and over again, usually I can kind of place where it fits in my mouth. So New York is like, I was at this party, some guy named Skull. So it's like guy, everybody was getting, I can't say that on this podcast, but it's got a lot of attitude to it. It's very like, it's up here. So
More nasally.
It's and just know like what the character is thinking. That really helps you with the dialect as well. And then like in Irish is really patting your T's and stressing your R's. So yeah, I mean, they don't really teach you a lot of that in drama school. It's more of like knowing the IPA, which is the phonetic alphabet, and knowing like what the sounds are. So yeah, I mean, whenever I get an accent for a role, then I could learn it pretty quickly. So it's definitely a good skill that I have. Usually I'm not great with lines as much, but in terms of character choices, I do a lot of prep work so I can have that freedom when the moment actually comes.
And you had just touched on one of the questions I was actually going to ask you regarding your impressions with comedians. Do you have a particular one? I'm not going to ask you to do it on air, but do you have a particular one?
I can do a pretty good Jeff Goldblum.
Ooh.
It's like a yes, hello.
Oh, that's good.
Jeff
That's good.
Goldblum. So yeah, hope the listeners enjoyed that. But and just whatever, like I'm really inspired by comedians who are able to tap into that. And I mean, there's a lot of controversial impressions that people can do right now. So I mean, whatever can make light of a certain situation. I mean, trying to find the comedy in this world that we're living in right now is always something that I try to look for. But yeah, I mean, I have a few celebrity impressions that I'm fairly proud of, but we can move on if you so please.
No problem. Getting back just a little bit to touch on Dhar Mann, how did you actually get into the role? At least 2 of them that I know that you did with Dhar Mann. Was it through like backstage, or did you just?
So I submitted through casting networks, and and once you're in that universe, I mean, I was proud of myself. That was a pretty good tape that I submitted. I did it with a platform called We Audition. If you've heard of that before, it's people on the web looking to read. So I did it with a reader who was phenomenal, and I felt really dropped in. And then I ended up booking it. And once I got that first one that was on the main channel, The Girl Wants to Be a Wrestler, I played Blake, who was a misogynistic boyfriend. But I was in that universe, and then how I acted on set was more of like a boy next door, certain like wholesome personality, of course, because that's like kind of, I guess, who I am more. Then I got to play a role in a vertical that was a month later that was more that character. So I mean, once you're in that world, they might like think of you for different parts and for challenging you in different ways. And I just loved everybody I met on set. So yeah, truly it's just getting your foot in the door. And once you get that first thing, then hopefully more opportunities come after. And that attributes to verticals as well too. So yeah, it's the name of the game.
You have a bit of a baritone in you as far as musical. And I know you've done some musical theater. Would you like to go on and do more of that? And if so, which musical theater would you like to do? I mean, which performance, if it was your dream role?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I personally cannot dance to save my life. So that is why I quit musical theater. I still love singing whatever I can. I love acting a song. But if it's a heavy dance show, that's something that's not really my world. And if I did it for a few months and had a choreographer, then maybe. But in terms of doing a musical that doesn't really require that. I think, yeah, something baritone-y. I feel like Shrek could be really cool, and that would
Oh,
challenge.
that could be fun. Yeah.
Or I guess Sweeney Todd would be something really challenging as well, to tap into the villainous and evil role that Stephen Sondheim created, and that doesn't really require a lot of dancing for him. So yeah, like you said, I could sing pretty low and I could stretch myself to be a tenor if need be, but just something that doesn't require a lot of dancing is kind of like in my wheelhouse. So if that comes one day in a musical adaptation for a film, then yeah, sign me up. I'll definitely try to audition.
Oh, that'd be great. I discovered something of you that kind of surprised me that I didn't. Well, I knew it was kind of starting to be a trend several years ago, but I was kind of refreshed to saw you were doing it. You had your own little blog of a day in the life.
Oh yeah.
Of
Oh yeah,
and
you guys do your research here. Great job. Props. Yeah, so my freshman year at NYU, I was doing Day in the Life of an NYU Tisch acting student.
Yeah.
And it got pretty big for a bit, but it was a lot of time. And I hate looking at my phone for long periods of time. And with TikTok, like once I was in the TikTok stratosphere and editing all these videos for 1-2 hours a day, then I would go on my For You page and naturally start scrolling. And I just wanted to like exit myself from that world. And I still maybe would do that again, maybe on YouTube or something, or maybe I'll get TikTok one day. But that was something that I really enjoyed to try to get a leg up. And I did briefly, but it wasn't worth the time that I was spending on my phone doing that. So that's why I stopped. But I admire all content creators out there, and that's really how you get more eyes. So yeah.
definitely. And one thing when Marcia was talking about baseball and all, that was actually brought up a question that I already was going to ask you. Do you think we're in for a repeat of last year?
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, because I'm very superstitious. I may have mentioned this on a website somewhere, but especially when watching October baseball for the Dodgers, I feel like I'm spiritually connected to the baseball gods naturally.
Yeah.
So if I'm standing on a chair and they do something good, then I stand on the chair for the rest of the game. And if I'm sitting down crisscross applesauce or in a plank or something and they do well, then I continue doing that. But I think their bullpen is definitely an issue right now. And now with Clayton Kershaw, he's retiring now. So I hope they could win it for him, because he was my childhood and I've seen him through thick and thin. And I just really hope he can go out on top. So I'm going to say it's 50-50 leaning yes. That's my final.
Well, that's good. I always kind of feel uncomfortable in my own house because I am the only Dodger fan, true Dodger fan, in an entire house full of Giants.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's San Francisco. Everybody.
Well, watch tonight. They're playing.
Yeah, no, I plan on it. So yeah.
It's on Apple TV.
Yeah. Put a little plug in there. Do you have a memory or something of any of the things that you have done, either Dhar Mann, acting on stage, Macbeth, the whole thing, and anything of a particularly incredible memory or just an embarrassing memory?
Not even embarrassing, but I think it was my senior year of high school. I mentioned I played Nick Bottom in Something Rotten, which was a popular Broadway musical back in 2015, and it was my dream role. And the last song that this character has before the finale, I just fully broke down, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it now. But and my grandpa was in the front row in the middle, and a lot of my family was there, and just like knowing that I've achieved so much, and that I was going to NYU, and that that 4 years of high school was attributing to this moment, and I've dreamed about it for so long, and then it was fully here. I was so present. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's probably a moment that sticks out, and trying to navigate like a singing experience with a particularly difficult song while you're trying to juggle tears. I mean, that's something that every actor like desires to have, but it's hard to get to that point. And for me, it just happened naturally because it was such a monumental moment. So yeah, I'd say that probably sticks out.
I think that's a good memory to have stick out, and probably one you'll carry through the rest of your life of how proud everybody was. And
Mhm.
speaking of your family, we already know what your brother does, but I know you have a sister as well. Is she into acting or sports or something on her own different level?
My sister is actually in New York as well, and
Oh,
she is a fashion designer in New York, living 10 minutes from me. So I see her whenever I can. She's right here, and she did theater in high school as well. She was the baker's wife in Into the Woods at St. Margaret's, which is a pretty well-known theater school, and she actually sang the national anthem at a Dodger game. So she's a very
oh,
gifted singer, more than I am. And she didn't want to see it through. I wish she did for my sake so we could collaborate. But yeah, she's doing really well, also in New York.
that's amazing. Now, is she still in fashion design school, or is she actually out on her own now with things?
She studied journalism at Northeastern University. So she's doing, I'm not exactly sure what her role is at this company G3 that she's at. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want
Oh
to say,
yeah, no, yeah.
but yeah, she studied journalism and she's a very gifted writer as well. So quite the talented woman that she is, and I'm very proud of her.
It sounds like the entire family is extremely talented and gifted with whatever you guys decide to do.
Yeah, and give a lot of credit to my family. They're probably going to watch this later. So yeah, I'm just very close to my family, and they've parented in a way of really valuing memories and family time. So whenever I go home, it's always a wonderful experience. And I just had my last full summer there, so a lot of tears were shed, but I love them very much, and they're, like I say on my website, they are the reason that I'm able to do what I love. And there was always a support from the very beginning, and sometimes it's not like that in the entertainment industry. So
No, it's not.
so yeah, I guess I one day, hopefully, when I'm giving my Oscar speech, I will thank them last. Hopefully, I can keep it together. But yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, thank you for that, Marcia. I'm going to give it to you.
Okay. I don't want to forget for you to tell your brother something about sports since he's a long jumper, right?
Yes.
Um, I grew up in a project in South Jamaica and long time ago, and Bob Beeman was one of our neighbors. And he'll know who Bob Beeman is. Bob Beeman held the record for long jump for decades,
Wow.
decades. So, and that's another kind of unique thing about living in a place like New York, where you walk everywhere. You know, you can see people. You don't have to get in a car. You can. So we had, and he used to come to our. I was younger then. He used to come to our grade school and talk about what his aspirations were, and it was so fantastic watching him jump into Olympic history with a long jump that lasted forever. So um, that's a memory to have.
Yeah.
But also, we've been talking about MLB, and I know the Mets aren't they may not even make the playoffs this year, but you know, and I'm not really superstitious, although I do I created a little mermaid fan for the New York Mets that I put up memes for. So she's the best supporter of the New York Mets in all the oceans. So I'll send that to you so you can.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure. Well, my
what
Instagram's right there. So.
Yeah, what is your favorite outfit to wear to support your team?
Oh, okay. That's a question for sure. Well, I think it really depends on the situation. I have lots of different jerseys, so whoever I'm feeling like is gonna have a good game that night, I'm
Hmm.
hoping that they will. So I had a Walker Bueller jersey. I went to Game 3 of the 2018 World Series where it was an 18-inning game where Max Muncy hit a walk off, and then
Yeah.
Bueller pitched that game. So I try to wear a jersey for a player that I want to do well. And then I also have a Jackie Robinson jersey that's a more of a retro kind of baby blue color that I really like. So if it's a regular season game and I just want to wear a jersey that I really enjoy showcasing and hopefully getting some compliments on it, then yeah, I do that during the regular season.
Hmm. And you don't have an Otani?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many of them now. I mean, the actor in me loves the attention, so I want to kind of stick out, I guess.
Oh, so and you want to support the
Yeah,
other.
and Otani will do well on his own. He doesn't need my help. um,
Well,
so
I will say the stadium is nice. I've never been to the Dodger Stadium, but it has a kind of retro look that's kind of cool.
it is, yeah, it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
They've refurbished it a lot.
Hmm. And I also understand that you have a certification in combat training in combat.
I do in unarmed stage combat.
Yeah.
We're studying at Lee Strasberg for a year, and I
Hmm.
did stage combat training there.
And it kind of as a people think of New York, hey, you could possibly use some of that training on the subway.
Not really. I wish I could. I've not had any of those experiences yet. I've never actually thrown a punch, only a stage punch. But
Yeah.
so yeah, if it comes to that moment, I feel like I'd get stage fright. So
Mhm.
yeah,
But you have used that training in some of your stage plays, I imagine, some
of course.
Shakespeare or some.
Yeah, I'm not certified in broadsword, which is sword fighting, and then I had to do it for
Mhm.
Macbeth. So I worked with our stage combat choreographer to do that. And naturally that comes easier for me, easier than dancing. I don't know why. I mean, it's more of like a step pattern thing, which I can
Mhm.
and going like that and
Mhm.
more. I mean, it's easier for my brain to comprehend for some regard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I haven't seen you in a Western yet. Have you thought?
I got very close with the Wild West Chronicles in LA that shoots there.
Ooh.
So I'd love to do Western. I mean, show off that Southern accent like whenever I get the chance. But
Do you ride?
no,
I'm
Okay.
thinking.
I could learn again, but I'm scared of horses and big dogs sometimes. Because, when I was younger, I was thrown off a horse by the Grand Canyon,
Oh
not
my
right by
God.
it. So and then also with big dogs, I was almost attacked by a pit bull. So like, I guess those animals bring back some trauma from childhood. But if it's for a film, I'll get over that because I'll be committed to the role, and my character isn't scared of horses.
Mm-hmm. So since you're finishing up kind of your stay in New York, what do you think are some of the coolest things about living in New York City?
Good question. I think being just so enamored with how much art there is and being in an environment with everybody who are artists, and it's so welcomed here, and there's you can never really be bored because there's always something to do. I mean, you could go go on the ferry, or you can go to a sporting event, or you can see a big screening of a movie that just came out. I mean, there's so much you can do, and some museums, going out, experiencing the nightlife. There's just so much to do here. And also, I love not having to drive everywhere. I mean, I like
Yay.
not to have a car, so just hopping on the subway or the city bike. It's everything is so compact and building up. So I mean, if I could live here, I would love to, but I think I belong more or less in LA. So that's probably my favorite thing about living in New York, is that there's always something to do and no chance to be bored.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the foods that you have come to like in New York City?
Foods? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
pizza, of course. I love a bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning. Those are both New York staples. I'm cooking a lot more now, so I'm cooking whenever I can. So making chicken and rice like every good college student does, and pasta but yeah, just really there's a lot of good Italian food here. So I love Italian food after spending so much time in Italy when I was studying abroad there. So I'd probably say just yeah, hopefully one day I can make it to Carbone and have a meal there. But yeah, just there's so many under the radar spots in New York, and everything tastes good because the water is so good here for some weird reason.
It's so true. I tell people that.
Yeah, I mean, even in the shower or just drinking straight tap water, it's actually drinkable. In LA, that is not the case. So that's one of the perks of also living in New York.
Yeah, the water comes from the New York aquifers,
Hmm.
and it's just see, you're making me homesick. Okay.
Sorry, let's move on then. We don't want that.
You can. So yeah, so as you think about your career now, you've done Dhar Mann, but not a vertical yet, or have you?
I've done small roles in verticals and background work in verticals.
Mm-hmm.
Never a primary role.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've been in that space, and I've seen how it operates. And everybody is so kind and nice, and it goes smoothly. And it's it could be a 4-hour day for you, and then you make $300 or more than that. So it is a great way for people emerging into the industry, especially now, because you're getting 65 million views on Reel Short or Drama Box.
It's incredible.
So I admire everybody that does do it. I mean, I'm trying to do some more SAG things, obviously. I mean, when I'm first going into it, I mean, that's the goal. So, but if something does come my way and I love the script and I think it would be a fulfilling acting role that would push me, then I think I would do it. But it really depends on the script.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen many verticals?
Yeah, I've watched the ones that I appear in. I watch the ones that my friends are in, but I never am scrolling through Real Short and just watching for fun, I guess. But it is interesting seeing the acting on verticals and the script writing, because it's different than short films that I've seen. So just kind of like being aware of how they differ and adjusting your acting to fit that space or that project is why I'm really watching, and also supporting my friends and myself.
And you talked somewhat about that that format has been coming to New York. But
Yeah.
how do your friends, your acting friends, how do they feel about verticals? Are there much talk about it?
There's definitely discourse about it. I actually have an audition virtually for a vertical later, so I'm going to do that right after this. But I think more people are aware of it in LA. It's not a huge factor in New York yet, but it's definitely coming over. And whenever my friends are in one, then people are talking about it. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the question everybody is asking themselves right now after going to a prestigious drama school like NYU Tisch. It's if you want to do a vertical, or do you want to stick with doing commercials and short films that go into festivals, just staying with that world because you don't want to be pigeonholed in one kind of media source. And I mean, that's possible for doing verticals. But also it's not. I mean, Brad Pitt got his start doing soap operas, and so many have gotten their start doing that. So yeah, I think it's definitely a factor in New York. It's only going to get bigger. So just being aware of where it's going, then that's all I'm really doing right now. And if something comes my way with a good script, then sign me up.
Yeah, if your spider sense is out, just seeing what is coming to you, what's out there, what opportunities.
Yeah, just whatever is out there. I try to just whatever my agent sends me, I definitely give that a read. When I'm going through casting networks or backstage, those are usually the vertical websites, as I mentioned. So if something it feels like a role that I could do, then I'll read the script, and if it's a few pages of sides, then yeah, I'll learn it and try to get a tape in.
See what happens. Okay. Well, it's been really fun talking with you, fellow New Yorker, at least temporary New Yorker. But and I'm going to toss it back to Michael or Liz.
Liz.
Liz?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one quick question. When you have downtime, when you're not studying, when you're not on, the stage, what do you do for fun besides run around New York and go to all your plays?
Yeah, I mean, that's right now. I love yoga. I've been doing a lot of yoga and mindfulness, so that's been, especially in the morning, that's a good start to my day. A lot of vinyasa yoga, and I also love pickleball, as all LAers are doing right now at the moment.
Yeah.
So, and that's more prevalent in New York now. So there's an NYU court, and there's one on the Hudson River. So that's what I've been doing a lot for fun, and just watching movies that I've never watched before that are classic ones. I mean, and just big movie premieres. I love the packed theaters, especially
Yep,
after COVID. That's something that I've always enjoyed, and I'll remember
Oh yeah.
Marvel movie moments where the crowd goes crazy, and I'm searching for that moment again with hopefully One Battle After Another, with the PTA one that just came out with DiCaprio. Hopefully that's going to have some moments like that.
I hope it does.
Yeah, so those are kind of the big three, I would say, is watching movies, pickleball, and yoga is what I do for fun.
You mentioned classic movies. What do you consider classic?
Okay, good question. I love Forrest Gump. I think that is my definition of a perfect movie. And it was actually has a lot of sentimental value because it was my parents' first date. So we know everything about that movie. And we actually, whenever we go to Bubba Gump Shrimp as a family, we challenge the waiters to trivia about it. So
Oh wow.
That's cruel, but
so usually we win, and usually we get a little voucher in the gift shop after. So yeah, that is probably my favorite movie, and I would call it classic, just selfishly. But in terms of the most well-rounded movie, I would say Shawshank Redemption, I think.
favorite.
Both incredibly good movies. And the reason I ask you that is classic for me, and I'm probably double your age. So classic for me would be the late 40s, 50s, and maybe mid 60s.
Yeah.
And I come from kind of a Hollywood background as well. My godfather was the AD on things like Gone with the Wind, Seven Brides or Seven Brothers. So that to me would be classic. But I'm glad that you picked the two that you did, because nowadays those would be definitely considered classic and probably one of the top 100 best movies of all time. So
yeah,
and,
I mean,
yeah.
we all have different definitions of classic. So
Oh yeah. Well, it's like when the radio station started playing classical music that was the 90s, I just about crawled underneath the car and said, run me over, because that's not classic to me. But, you know, the other thing I wanted to say is thank you so much for taking the time and joining us. And it was very informative and entertaining. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for all having me. I had a blast.
I'm
glad you did. And she stole my last question, which I knew she was going to. And she said 3 words. And I go, I'm doomed.
So you guys in this?
Well, you steal mine.
Well, but that's, I'm glad. I mean, what he said, that is really cool. I have not gotten into pickleball. I've seen courts. They were going to put some courts in my neighborhood, and people were rebelling because they like their tennis courts and they didn't want to switch to pickleball.
Yep.
But whatever. But I would like to thank you also, AJ, for agreeing to come on. This was really fun. This was really fun.
For reaching out. I had a really good time, and it's always awesome talking about acting and entertainment. So
absolutely.
And baseball.
And baseball.
Yes, baseball.
Yeah, and stay with us a few minutes after we go off, because I wanted to tell you something off air. But everyone else, thank you for coming. In about another hour, we've got another actor coming on, and we're excited. And that will be Braxton Angle will be with us. And it's 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. So join us for that if you can. And if not, we'll see you when we can. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.